school's out, blame corona, but I still got some science I could show ya. No class, no school, that's cool, throw the class on the YouTube. Even if they shut the school down, I'll get that knowledge anyway somehow. Real scholars won't stop for corona. Tune in for that science takeover.
Happy Tuesday, welcome to Mrs. Finney's science class. Shout out to the HB Warriors, to all of our subscribers, to all of our visitors. We are here to learn science from my house to your house. Let's get started. Today we are learning section 3, proteins and eye color. Learning objective for today, I can explain what happens in the shape of a protein changing. We are going to continue that discussion to see what happens when things are just a little different. All right, so right here at the beginning it says proteins and eye color. Some people have curly hair while others have straight hair. Which kind of hair do you have? Type that in the comment section below. All right, some people can digest milk while others are lactose intolerant. Some people have light eyes while others have dark eyes. All of these traits are determined at least in part by proteins made in the cells of different parts of the body. All right, so let's take a look at this image right here. So 3 eyeballs up close. You should notice a difference here, right? And we'll check on this difference. What in the world is happening? Okay, so in this image, some traits are dependent on the amounts of a protein present. So your eye color, how light it is, how dark it is, dependent in part of the amounts of protein present. The more what they call P protein that helps to make melanin in a cell, the more melanin can be made. The more melanin the cells of the iris have, the darker the eye will be. An albino eye has no melanin. All right. So if you have a dark iris, then you have a lot of what? P protein. All right. Check this out. If you have a light iris, then you have a little less P protein. All right. So we have an understanding as to why our eye color looks the way it looks. Right. So all comes down to the protein. Okay. So here in the image, you'll notice how the melanin amount is different. The P protein is different in each one of these different eyes. Okay? So right here it says more P protein results in more clusters of melanin. More melanin results in brown eyes. So you see right here, you have the melanin and you have the P protein. There's a lot going on in this one, right? Because the eye color is darker. And then here, less P protein results in fewer clusters of melanin. Less melanin results in blue eyes. So if you take a look here, there's a little less melanin, all right? And you will see that the eye color is blue, all right? Check this one out. No P protein results in no melanin. No melanin results in eyes that have no pigment at all. So you will see this type of eye color. And this is what the cells will look like in the eye. Okay? So now we have an understanding as to why everyone has their particular eye color. Why your eyes look the way that they look. Why your friends' eyes look the way that they look. Why your family members' eyes look the way that they look. Check it out. Look into the P protein amount, okay? All right, so here we go. You have just learned some examples of how proteins can help build the structure of something, like a red blood cell. We talked about that yesterday. But sometimes proteins help with cell processes such as making pigments that give cells color. So proteins have something to do with that. Melanin is a substance that helps determine skin and eye color. The amount of melanin made is determined in part by a protein called P protein. The color of your eyes depends on how much melanin is made by the cells of your iris, the colored part of your eyes. Okay? Cells of a blue iris have a small amount of melanin. Green and hazel eyes have more, and dark blue eyes have the most. Generally, the more of this functional P protein the cells of your iris produce, the more melanin they produce. All right? And the more melanin they produce, the darker your eyes will be. Check that out. Some people cannot make melanin anywhere in their bodies, sometimes because the P protein is what they call non-functional. So as you notice here, we were talking about functional P protein, okay? So functional P protein and the blue iris have a small amount of melanin, okay? And then green and hazel eyes have a little more, and then dark brown eyes have the most. But some people cannot make melanin anywhere in their bodies, all right? And this is because the P protein is what you call non-functional, not functioning at all right? This trait is called albinism. People with albinism have little to no melanin in their skin, eyes, or hair, okay? For many of these people, none of these body parts have any color at all. Albino eyes will sometimes look pink or red due to, check this out, the reflection of light from the red blood vessels in the eyes. That's what's giving it that pinkish reddish tint. So they actually really have no color. It's just a reflection of the blood vessels in the eye. Okay? So I want to show you a video to give you a little more insight on albinos and as well as different types. I don't think everyone knows that there are different types. Okay? So let's look into this video right here. And it's called, Why Are Some People Albino? Here we go.
Albinism is a rare genetic condition where a person's body isn't able to make skin color. But what exactly is albinism and how common is it? Hey guys, Julia here for D-News. Albinism is a genetic condition where a person's body isn't able to make pigment, so people with this condition have white skin and hair with light blue or pink eyes. Albinism is a complex disorder. You get your skin, eye, and hair color from melanin, which is distributed through a number of genes, but if one of these genes carry a certain mutation, the amount of melanin that is distributed through your body changes, where sometimes this mutation will keep your body from producing any melanin at all. Melanin is produced by cells called melanocytes, which are mostly found in your skin and eyes, but also in your hair. People with darker skin have a higher concentration of melanin in their skin as opposed to fair-skinned people. Albinism is the absence of melanin completely, and it's not just people. Any animal with pigment can be albino too. Albinism is passed down genetically. In most cases, there is someone else in the family who has the condition, but not all cases are the same. There are actually many types of albinism that all affect a different gene mutation. Oculocutaneous albinism, which is when it affects your eyes, skin, and hair, ranges from type 1 to type 4 with varying degrees of melanin impact and affects 1 in every 20,000 people. The most severe form of albinism is oculocutaneous albinism type 1 or OCA1. OCA1 is caused by a mutation in one of 4 genes. It's characterized by having pink or white skin, eyes, and hair. Some babies born with OCA type 1 do develop slight pigmentation during their early childhood, but many born with this type of albinism never do. OCA type 2 is less severe than type 1. Skin and eye color will be pale, but hair color is more likely to be red, yellow, or auburn. OCA type 3 mostly affects people who are darker skinned and will create a reddish light tan tone with auburn eyes. OCA type 4 is very related to type 2. It's hard to diagnose which type of albinism is at work and is best left to genetic testing. Another type of albinism is ocular albinism type 1, OA1, also called Nettleship-Falls syndrome. Much like its name suggests, only the eyes are affected by the genetic mutation, while hair and skin will remain the same. This happens only when the genetic mutation of an X chromosome is inherited, so it occurs mostly in males. The eyes will appear bluish pink. The iris is super translucent, and the most important part of the eye, the fovea, which is responsible for a sharp image, does not develop properly. However, any degree of albinism comes with vision problems, which include being cross-eyed, being sensitive to light, and rapid eye movement and functional blindness. An estimated 1 in 20,000 people worldwide are born with it, and it affects about 20,000 people in the US every year. OCA type 2 happens more frequently in African Americans, Native Americans, and in sub-Saharan Africa. Nigeria is one of the highest prevalences of albinism in the world, with over 2 million people affected. There are many myths that surround albinism and why it happens. While it is true that people with albinism can't tan, and many do get very serious sunburns, the chances of getting skin cancer is just as high with anyone else who spends a lot of time in the sun. Other myths include the belief that albinos possess magical traits or bring about bad luck. Some tribal communities in Africa persecute them, forcing them to leave their native communities or be killed. Places like Tanzania are having an especially hard time controlling this myth, where sacrifices and the belief that albino body parts bring good luck causes a spike in albino hunting. So, do you have albinism? Know anyone who has it? Tell us your story down in the comments below. Keep coming back here to D News. We've got new episodes every day of the week.
All right, so now we have a lot of background information and a little more understanding as to why someone with non-functional pea protein, okay, would appear that they appear, all right? So that gives us a little more information into that condition. Why are some people unable to make melanin anywhere in their bodies? Let's make a choice here. Let's make a choice. So we should know this answer, okay? Why are some people unable to make melanin anywhere in their bodies? A, all humans are able to produce melanin. Is that true? No. The proteins around their cells constantly change shape and function. They lack the necessary amount of blood circulation. Thank you. Yay? No? D, the pea protein is non-functional. Let's try that. Let's try that. See what we have here. Correct. Some people cannot make melanin anywhere in their bodies because the pea protein is non-functional. This trait is called albinism. Okay? Let's look down here. So in your lesson 8, section 3, you have some questions. I'm going to review those with you. Please complete those answers in your notebook. How can a protein that is a part of a cell's chemical processes affect a trait? A trait. How something appears. How? Let's think about that here. Okay? When proteins are part of the chemical process that makes a product, the product can affect the trait. All right, I'm going to enlarge this so you can jot this down. Okay. All right, next piece. The amount of protein present can affect a trait. Look at the amount of protein in each eye cell. How does this affect eye color? Write in the boxes to label each eye cell below as brown, blue, or albino. Let's see. What do you think? Take a look. Which one's brown, which one's blue, and which one is albino? All right. Here we go. And you should be able to identify where there's functional pea protein and where there is non-functional pea protein. Okay. All right, let me show you your answer. Here we go. All right. So this first one, you would notice it has more melanin, more functional pea protein, okay, than this one, which has pea protein, okay, but it's just not as much. And then here, non-functional pea protein, not even there, okay? So make sure you have that inside of your notebook. Number 3, describe how the amount of pea protein affects the amount of melanin, and explain how that impacts the trait of eye color, okay? So this answer says the amount of pea protein can affect the amount of a product that it makes. The amount of pea protein affects how much melanin is made in a cell, okay? Cells with more melanin appear darker. This makes cells with lots of pea protein look brown, and cells with no pea protein look colorless, except they appear red when we can see the blood vessels behind them. That gives them the appearance of being red, but actually no pea protein, so it is colorless, okay? Make sure you have this written down as well, and you can paraphrase, put it in your own words. Some very interesting information. It's always cool to understand why things are the way that they are. How did we get to look the way that we look, right? Here we go. All right, so in here, I want to help you see the connection. Okay, yesterday we looked at this. You would have a chromosome wrapped in DNA. On the DNA, you would have the genes. And so let's look at this. Okay, learning about genetics is tricky because we rarely actually see the objects discussed, right? But remember, DNA, genes, and chromosomes are real physical materials, and each of these materials is located in every cell of your body. All right, so right here, we have an animal cell, all right? And we're going to take a look at what is inside. Can you identify the chromosomes in this image of a cell? Can you locate any genes in the image? What about any DNA? Label these parts in your notebook. All right, so take a look. What parts can you identify? And based off of what we learned when we talked about animal cells, you should be able to point some of this out. Okay? All right, so here, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you label it. Okay? So right here you have the nucleus, okay? These are the chromosomes, and then the DNA will be right there. Okay, so let's look at this on another scale. Okay, just looking at what's inside of what when you go on a deeper level. So obviously we know that this is an organism. This is a human body, right? And so then on the next level, right, inside of the human body we would have, what is this called? This entire image right here, it's called a cell, okay? And then inside of the cell, we would have the nucleus, okay? Inside of the nucleus, we would have chromosome right here, okay? And that was represented with the green X looking pieces in the previous image. Okay, and then wrapped around the chromosome, we have DNA, okay? And then on DNA, we have different genes. Come on over here, Gene B. Come on over here, Gene B. You have to join Gene A. Yes, yes. You are together forever. All right? So this would be how you would fill in the blank for this diagram. Which direction would you draw an arrow to order the materials from smallest to largest? The arrow should point from right to left in that case. Which elements of the entire image contain DNA? Everything from the organism to the genes has DNA within it. Okay? So just wanted to make sure you guys could see what it looks like, how these different terms connect to each other. All right? And so here, in this part of the discussion, we're going to add in the term proteins. Okay? What do DNA, genes, and chromosomes do? These materials help make proteins for the body. You can think of them as similar to items used to make food in the kitchen. So we just want to see what's the connection of all of them right now. Okay? How do they connect? Gene. The instructions, or if we're comparing this to kitchen recipes, things like that. Gene, the instructions are recipe for a protein. All right? So the gene is giving the instructions to the protein. Okay? This is what we're going to do. This is how we're getting it done. Okay? Chromosomes, what's their job? Storage for the instructions, like a recipe box. Okay? So the chromosome, okay, will hold the information, holds the instructions. Okay? DNA, the material that makes up the instructions, like the paper and ink of a recipe card. Okay, so here's a recipe card. So this makes up the instructions. Okay. And then proteins, key word here for today, molecules that build traits. Think of them as the food made by following the recipes. Okay. So as you're following the instructions, you're going to make the proteins. All right. So that's how you would connect them, just as far as figuring out how would genes, chromosomes, DNA, and proteins be related. Who has which job? Gene provides the instructions, right here. Chromosomes, storage for the instruction, storing the instructions. DNA, the material that makes up the instructions. And proteins, molecules that build traits. Okay? And today's trait that we discussed would be eye color, skin color, hair color. Okay? All right. Good to go. Let's go back up here into our section. All right. And we just want to wrap up the conversation to make sure you guys have your understanding, okay? Eye color and melanin. This is what the image looks like. You have more pea protein, okay, when you have more melanin, okay, more clusters of melanin. All right. And so we covered that today. We also talked about what in the world is melanin. Melanin is the substance that helps determine skin and eye color. Okay. The amount of melanin made is determined in part by a protein called pea protein. Okay. And some people cannot make melanin anywhere in their body, sometimes because the pea protein is non-functional. This trait is called albinism. People with albinism have little to no melanin in their skin, eyes, or hair. And so this is how you have some individuals who are albino. Okay. We are wrapping up for today. Let's close out with our outro. With our outro. Ooh. Let's close out. Having a great day. Yeah. All right, here we go. It's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. Oh, it's been fun. It's been real. We break it down and pick up science skills. Give yourself 2 claps just for tuning in. Come back, meet tomorrow. We can learn again. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.